some creators, the one that is annoying me is big creators have now turned stories to adult content, adult videos, blue film, just because you want to generate more views and make more money. Have you noticed that since I am the only content creator, I know maybe a few others are there.
This is the video done by MC Mbakara, and I want to appreciate him for calling out these influencers who are now flooding their pages, the internet, with adult content and nudity. You know, it is surprising somehow that those who are called influencers, why are you an influencer? That is, you are a person that people are looking up to. You have followers and they are looking up to you, and so you are influencing them. So are you a negative or positive influencer? So what are you influencing? Because when you see that these influencers who are posting these things, as MC Mbakara has noted, they are those who are also coming out and calling out our politicians and saying that they are corrupt. So what led to this corruption? Before we go into analyzing this video posted by MC Mbakara, first of all, I want to appreciate him because he is an influencer also, and he is calling out his fellow colleagues so that they will not continue to throw caution to the wind. But before we go deep into this video, I want you to subscribe to this channel, the Moralgovernor TV. Subscribe to it and always like this video and share it to others so that when new content is dropped, you will be notified and others will also know about what we are talking about in this TV. So thank you for those who are following, and I want you to continue to subscribe to the channel. Drop your comment on these issues we want to talk about. Now, going back to that video, as I said before, if you check on Facebook now, just like MC Mbakara noted, that Facebook has monetized Nigerian content, and so whether you are posting stories or posting your content on Facebook, so because of that, so many people are now, they are not taking caution on what they are posting, especially those who call themselves influencers. Those who call themselves influencers, if you check their stories, it's all about nudity, adult content, and all immoral content that they are posting, just in the bid of making more money. Take note, they already have money, but they want to make more money. And these same people are the ones who are coming out to call out politicians and say that, oh, politicians are corrupt, they are embezzling money, they don't care for the people they are leading. That same motivation that is making the politicians to embezzle more money, that is the same desire that is making you, who is already making money, to want more money. And so therefore, you have thrown caution to the wind and start posting things that are not appropriate. See, we are living in a society, no matter how much you have, if the society is not sanitized, is not cleansed, it will affect you. Go and find that in history. Great countries like Rome, what made them to go down? Remember, they were once the world power in the world, but they went down not because they were, in terms of military, they were weak, but because they failed to uphold moral integrity. And so when immorality ate deep into the fabric of the society will collapse. And so don't only run after money, also look out for what you are posting out there, because there are so many who are looking up to you, both old and young. Especially there are some children now who are having these Android phones, even some are in primary schools, and their parents are not even able to guide them. Their parents don't even know how to some of their parents may not know how to operate even the touchlight phones, not talk of Android phones. So these children are left at their own discretion to watch whatever they want to watch. And so if some of them are following you, those of you who are posting this kind of nudity, what would they learn? So you see that we continue to breed hooligans, continue to breed immoral people in the society because of people like you who is posting inappropriate content because you want to make more money. Because you want to make more money. Money is not the only motivation. Whatever content you are posting, also have that mind that people should learn something from these things you are posting, not only because you want to make money. And so MC Mbakara, appreciating for calling out these people if they will take caution. Then I also have something against, I disagreed in some of the last word that he talked about when he said, oh, people are also criticizing his wife for also wearing indecent attires.
Before you start saying, oh, what of your wife that dresses like this and that, listen to me. Indecent dressing is in perspective, is perspective. Now, for you, a short bomb shot can be indecent for you, but it's not indecent for another person. Somebody, when they smoke in America and in the cold region, cigarette is not a big deal, but in Nigeria, cigarette looks like you're doing it's a sin or stuff.
Try to defend it, to say that what is decent for one person may be indecent for another person. And I want to call his attention also to say that that is contradiction, because what these other people are posting is indecency, especially in their dressings, where people wear unnecessary things out there. What they are supposed to wear indoor, they want to wear it out. But if your wife is also doing so, MC Mbakara, then you have to also caution her, because it's contradiction. That shows that you don't have the right, the moral fiber, want to call out and correct people when you also have such around you. You don't need to defend it. And what you are trying to tell us, that you are a moral relativist, because in one of my videos I talk about that morality is not relative. Morality is universal. What I meant is that what is true here in Nigeria can also be true in America, because morality, the standard of morality, is not dependent on man, because we are created by the moral governor, God himself. He is the lawgiver, and so he is the one that should decide what is right and what is wrong. And so morality does not depend on you, any human beings, because we don't have what it takes to be moral standards. Only the moral governor is the moral standard. And so what is right for one society is also right in another society. Take, for instance, there is no society in the world that appraises stealing. Every society is against stealing, is against murder and other immoral acts. If stealing is right in Nigeria, it's also right in America. And so morality is universal. It is not relative. If madness is wrong, or maybe if somebody go mad is bad, then there are levels of madness. So what you are saying is that, oh, your wife has a level of indecency. Other people are maybe doing something worse than what she is doing. That does not make her to be right. So if you are defending your wife, then you don't have the right to talk about other persons, because it's just different level of madness that all of you are demonstrating. It's different level of madness. Madness is madness. So that is what we are saying. So now, what does the moral governor say? Who is the standard of dressing? Yes, in as much as you can wear what you want to wear, but is there a standard that should caution us when it comes to dressing? Let me take you back from the beginning. Remember when Adam and Eve sinned against God. This narrative is in Genesis chapter 3. When they discovered that they were naked, they saw the need to cover themselves. And they made fig leaves, according to the narration, to cover themselves. And when God saw it, God was not satisfied with what they used to cover themselves. And so God himself made a clothing out of animal skin to properly cover them. So the principle we want to learn from there is that dressing it's not just you wearing something to cover some part of your body. You must be properly covered, because though Adam and Eve were covering their nakedness, but they were not properly covered. Probably some of their sensitive areas were exposed, and so God wanted to properly cover them. So when you are wearing something that is not covering you properly, as we see today in our society, many ladies are now putting their breasts on display, as those who are hawking. Maybe you are hawking things on the street, granite, pure water, and so many things people are hawking. They are not putting on the tray and moving for people to price. That is what is happening. So if you observe, there is no longer private part again. The only private part people have now is their intestine, because people expose almost every part of their body, every sensitive part of their body outside. So God wanted to properly cover Adam and Eve. So he is the one that by himself made a covering for them. That is a standard. So God wants every other human being to follow that same standard, to follow that standard. That shows the principle we learn there is that when you are dressing, as we see in Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5, you must dress in a way. If you are a man, your dressing must demonstrate that you are a man. If you are a woman, your dressing must demonstrate that you are a woman. So this confusion as to dressing in a way that nobody can even identify your gender, the moral governor is against it. That is one principle we learn. Then secondly, the principle we learn from that narrative in Genesis 3, from the moral governor himself, is that you as a man, as a human being, don't have the right to decide what decency is. So decency to God is you wearing something that properly covers your body. Properly. And so, MC Bakara, if your wife is wearing something that she's not properly covered, I am following you. I'm following your content, and sometimes you people post, you wear things. It does not. It stands against, is contradicting to the principle of decency that is given by the moral governor. You see, so you are not the standard. So if you want to know the standard of decency, go back to what the moral governor did, what the moral governor said. So, in as much as I want to appreciate you because your content is family based, and teaching husband and wives, young people, how to continue to live peacefully, lovingly, and joyfully in their homes. I like that. But on this issue of dressing, you are not the standard. No celebrity is the standard of morality, is the standard of dressing. Many are falling short of God's standard. We know today that though people don't longer care about what God says, human beings have now dethroned God in their lives and enthroned themselves. That is humanism. That is why our society is becoming so porous the way it is. Because the moral governor says when people walk away from the light, they walk away into darkness. And when you are walking in darkness, you will no longer see anything again. And that is why people no longer see that they have gone away from God. That is why all kinds of atrocities, all kinds of immoralities, all kinds of unspeakable things that cannot even be mentioned among human beings. What animals, we will see animals do, human beings are not doing it because we have walked away from the light, the moral governor. So people no longer care about what God says. So this channel, we are calling your attention that all what we do, our actions, our decisions, whatever we wear, whatever we do, we must weigh it in the eyes of the moral governor, not on your own. You are not the standard. So when you want to talk about decency, don't say, oh, one person what is decent to one person can be indecent to another person. No, there is a standard, and the standard is that whatever you are wearing, let it cover you. That is what the moral governor says. So I want to, first of all, appreciate you and also call your attention to the fact that decency cannot be measured by human standard, but by the standard of God. Thank you for staying with me on this video. Once again, we'll be coming up with issues like this because our society must be sanitized. If not, you don't have the right to blame our leaders for doing what they are doing. Before we will have the moral fiber to accuse them, because it is just one aspect of immorality that they are pursuing. We, on the other hand, we are also, because we have political aspect of our lives, we must be morally sound politically and socially, emotionally, and all that. So they are immoral as politicians. Most of us who are ordinary citizens are immoral socially. See that? So you are judging somebody, but you are guilty of that same thing. So if our society must be sound, then we all must be ready to weigh our actions from the standpoint of the moral governor. Thank you for staying with me on this, and I want you to share this video so that you can even get to MC Mbakara. Share this video, hit that notification button so that whenever issues like this come, you'll be notified. And also drop your comment. What do you think about this thing? Are you a moral relativist or are you a moral universalist? But don't forget that God is God and truth is truth. It does not matter the community you are living. God bless you.